Hello everyone, and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kyle Chrisley denied access to dad, begs for visitation with Chloe. Chrisley knows best. Todd Chrisley won't accept Lindsay or Kyle Chrisley since his imprisonment, and maybe he blames them for his predicament. After all, there's been plenty of talk about how both of them may have informed the authorities about his business dealings. It's a big problem for Kyle, who wants to be able to see his birth daughter, Chloe Chrisley, who is in the custody of his half-sister, Savannah. Kyle Chrisley wants to have visitation with Chloe Chrisley. Angela Johnson was the birth mom of Chloe Chrisley, but Kyle's ex-girlfriend lost out in her efforts to see her daughter. That is because Todd and Julie legally adopted the little girl. So, even if she wanted to take care of the kid with Todd and Julie behind bars, she couldn't. Instead, they handed custody to Savannah for both Grayson and Chloe, despite Kyle apparently being over his drug addiction problems. Kyle Chrisley seems upset at the moment because he can't visit his dad in prison, where he serves time for tax and fraud-related offenses. Apparently, he's tried to see him, but he's not on the list of people who can visit the prison anymore. He did see him twice, though. He doesn't know why, but fans suspect that his dad put him on the list of undesirable visitors because of the way the trial went. Whatever the reason, it also means that Kyle can't get to speak to his dad about getting visitation with Chloe. At one stage, Todd Chrisley and his son had reunited, and all seemed forgiven. However, that seems to have changed now. According to a new report by In Touch Weekly, the Chrisley knows best patriarch wants nothing to do with him. Like Lindsay, he wasn't welcome at the oral arguments appeal. Kyle explained more about Chloe, saying, Kyle Chrisley admitted that he didn't have a stellar past. But he feels very sad because he doesn't think that the estrangement needs to be the way it is. As he raises two other kids without any problems, he feels that the whole situation is sad. Our whole family is really just torn apart, and I hate that it's become this way. The dim afternoon light slanted across Kyle Chrisley's small Nashville apartment, casting soft shadows against the walls. A half-drunk cup of coffee sat untouched on the table. Kyle's phone buzzed every few minutes, messages from friends, reminders, and notifications that he ignored, but he kept staring at the one call he had tried to make that morning. The call that never connected. He hadn't spoken to his father in months. Todd Chrisley had built his life on charm, control, and perfectly crafted walls, and ever since the prison upheavals and legal drama tore the Chrisley family apart, those walls had become steel. Kyle had expected tension, judgment, maybe a lecture. But being completely cut off? He never imagined that. Yet here he was, blocked from calling his own father, refused even a short conversation, and struggling to understand whether this was punishment, protection, or something deeper. And as if the pain of losing that connection wasn't enough, he was also being told he couldn't see Chloe. That was the part that broke him. Chloe had once been his entire reason to try again. His reason to recover. His reason to show up. He ran a hand through his hair, exhaling shakily. This can't be it, he whispered to himself. This can't be where my family leaves me. The door that wouldn't open. Kyle paced the small living room, grabbed his jacket, and headed out. The crisp November wind slapped across his face as he walked to his car. His hands shook, not from cold, but from the tangled mix of anger, regret, and desperation he'd been carrying for weeks. He drove to the only place he still associated with hope, Savannah's house. She was the one holding everything together now. Custody of Chloe, advocacy for their parents, the emotional glue trying to keep the pieces of the Chrisleys from sliding apart completely. But in the process, she had taken on roles none of them ever expected her to have. When he pulled into her driveway, he didn't see her car, but he saw the flicker of movement inside. He knocked, waited, and Savannah opened the door with a weary expression, as if she knew exactly why he was there before he even spoke. Kyle, she started, rubbing her temple. Please tell me you're not here to argue again. He swallowed hard. I'm not here to fight. I need to see Chloe. Save, I'm begging you. Her face softened with a mix of sadness and frustration. It's not that simple. It should be, he said, voice cracking. She's my daughter. Savannah crossed her arms, holding her ground. And you will always be her father. But right now, she needs normalcy, stability, routine. I'm doing what's best for her. He stepped back as if her words hit him physically. And I'm not what's best. That's not what I said. He shook his head, tears welling. Then why is every door in this family locked to me? Savannah's gaze dropped. Kyle, you know how Dad is. If I let you in right now, he'll think I'm choosing sides. He won't even take my calls.
Kyle snapped.
What side is there to choose? Her silence was answer enough. The breaking point. That night, Kyle sat parked outside a church he used to attend when he was trying to get clean the first time. He hadn't planned to stop there. He hadn't planned anything. He just drove until the weight on his chest became too much, and he needed a place to breathe. He walked inside. The room was empty except for a janitor sweeping near the pulpit. Kyle sat in the back row, leaning forward, elbows on his knees. Out of habit, he whispered a prayer, something he hadn't done in months. God, I know I messed up in ways I can't fix overnight. I know I hurt people. But please, don't let me lose her. Don't let me lose Chloe. His voice trembled. And don't let my dad shut me out forever. I'm trying. I really am. Emotion poured out, raw and unfiltered. There was no camera, no show, no Chrisley polish, just a man trying to hold on to the pieces of his life. The janitor paused his sweeping nearby. You all right, son? Kyle wiped his face. I don't know. The man nodded knowingly. Family trouble?
Yeah.
Something like that. Sometimes the first thing you gotta do, the man said kindly, is forgive yourself before they can forgive you. The words lingered. Kyle didn't know if they were true, but they were something. And something was better than nothing, that a message sent, not returned. The next morning, with a trembling resolve, Kyle sent a message to Savannah. Not angry, not defensive, just honest. Save, I understand you're doing what you think is right. I'm not trying to disrupt Chloe's life. I'm not trying to cause drama. I just want a chance, supervised, scheduled, anything to see her. She needs to know her dad is still trying. Please don't shut me out. I'm begging you. He stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Then he pressed send. Minutes passed. Hours passed. No response. It wasn't surprising, but it still stung. A call that changes everything. That evening, Kyle's phone rang. The caller ID made his heart drop.
It was Nanny Faye.
He answered instantly. Nanny. Her voice was warm, but tight. Baby, I heard you're having a rough time. He felt tears prick his eyes again. I just want to see my dad. I want to see Chloe. I'm not trying to cause trouble.